All right, so if you fired up your favorite streaming service lately, you've probably noticed something, well, something kind of familiar. Ads. Yeah, they're popping up absolutely everywhere now, on Netflix, on Disney Plus, you name it. And today we're going to figure out exactly why. Nope, you're not imagining things, and you're definitely not the only one asking, wait, what's going on? I mean, weren't these the services that promised us this glorious ad-free future? So why are they suddenly starting to look, well, a lot more like good old-fashioned TV? Well, it's not some random decision they made overnight. This is a massive strategic shift. It's all about money, it's about technology, and yep, it's about our viewing habits. And right now, we're going to pull back the curtain and give you the inside guide on how all of this actually works. Okay, so to really get why ads are suddenly the future, we have to look back and understand why the old way of doing things just isn't working anymore. That original dream of streaming, the one built only on subscriptions, it's running into some pretty serious headwinds. So check out this number, 7.3. That's the average number of streaming acts in a typical US home. And it tells you one thing, loud and clear. The market is totally packed. I mean, just think about it for yourself. How many more monthly subscriptions can you honestly handle? For these streaming companies, trying to find brand new subscribers in this kind of environment, it's gotten incredibly hard and super expensive. And this chart right here shows you exactly what happens next. That streaming wars gold rush where everyone was scrambling for subscribers, it's pretty much over. You can see that explosive growth we saw for years just slammed into a wall. We're all feeling it. It's called subscription fatigue. And it means that old model, the one based on just adding more and more paid users every single quarter, it's running out of steam, fast. So what do you do if you can't find enough new people to subscribe? Well, you don't give up. You change the entire playbook. The industry's answer is a whole new model, a much more powerful one that doesn't put all its eggs in one basket. And this is the core of that new playbook. We're seeing a big shift from what's called SVOD, that's subscription video on demand, the old way, to HVOD, or hybrid video on demand. It's pretty simple, really. You offer a cheaper plan that has ads. That brings in a whole new group of people, and bam, you've just created a second really powerful stream of revenue. It's not just about our subscription fees anymore.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because this busts a huge myth. See, the biggest fear for these companies was that all their existing high-paying customers would just ditch the premium plan and switch to the cheaper ad-supported one. But look at the data. That's not what's happening at all. A massive 65% of people on these ad tiers are brand new customers, and another 25%, they're people who'd left and are now coming back. So these ad tiers aren't just eating away at their profits. No way. They're a massive engine for growth.
And right here, this is the real secret sauce. This is the financial kicker that's driving this entire shift across the industry. Get this. When a company combines that cheaper subscription fee with the money they make from showing you ads, the total amount of money they make from you is often higher than what they made from a full-price ad-free subscriber. Think about that. It's the ultimate win-win for them. They get a bigger audience and, believe it or not, they actually make more money per person. Okay, so we've established why they want to show us ads. But how does it actually happen? How does an ad for, a new car or a fizzy drink magically appear in the middle of the show you're binging? Well, it all goes down in this incredibly complex, kind of hidden marketplace that's powered by some seriously smart tech. So let's meet the key players in this whole operation. All right, first up, you've got the buyers. These are the big brands, right? The Coca-Colas, the Fords of the world. They use a special piece of software called a demand-side platform, or a DSP. The easiest way to think about it is like their own personal stock market trading desk. But instead of buying stocks, they're bidding on ad space to get their commercials in front of the right people.
Then on the other side of the coin, you've got the sellers. That's your Netflix, your Hulu, all the services with shows. What they have is the ad inventory, basically the empty slots for commercials. And they use a different tool, a supply-side platform, or an SSP. This software automatically puts their ad slots up for sale, making sure they get the best price from the highest bidder. It's all about maximizing their ad money.
So let's just boil it down to the basics. DSPs, they help the advertisers buy the ad space. And SSPs, they help the streaming services sell that ad space. And these two platforms are talking to each other constantly, a million times a second, in this giant automated digital marketplace, playing matchmaker between the buyers and the sellers.
And that brings us to the craziest part of all of this, the actual technology. The very second, your show hits a commercial break, a completely invisible, lightning-fast auction kicks off. So let's break down what happens in literally the blink of an eye.
Okay, so follow this. Step 1, you hit an ad break. Instantly, step 2, your TV or phone sends out what's called an ad request. It's a little packet of anonymous data about the show you're watching, that kind of thing. Step 3, that request hits the open market, and all those DSPs start bidding against each other in real time. It's a bidding war. Step 4, in just milliseconds, a winner is declared, the highest bidder. And finally, step 5, the winning ad is grabbed and stitched seamlessly right into your stream. The whole thing is over before you can even blink. Now, how that ad gets inserted is absolutely crucial. The old way of doing it was called client-side ad insertion, and honestly, it was pretty clunky. Your device would have to literally stop the show, go find an ad, and then start the show again. That's what caused all that awful buffering. But the new tech, what all the big guys use, is called server-side ad insertion, or SSAI. This is way smarter. It stitches the ad and the show together into one single perfect stream on a server before it ever gets to your screen. As far as your TV is concerned, it's just one continuous video. And the proof is in the pudding. Look at that, 98%. That's the average completion rate for ads delivered with this seamless SSAI tech. Why? Because the experience is so smooth, just like watching regular TV, and it's also much harder for ad blockers to stop it. That incredible number makes advertisers thrilled, and it keeps us, the viewers, from wanting to throw our remote at the screen because of some technical glitch.
Okay, all this tech and business strategy is fascinating, but it all leads to the one question that really matters to us, right? How do they stop these ads from driving us completely crazy? And trust me, they know this is a huge deal. They know they have to get this part right.
And yeah, the industry is keenly aware of what our single biggest complaint is. It's this, seeing the same ad over and over again. We've all been there, right? You're watching a show, and you see the same car commercial 3 times in 20 minutes. It's the absolute fastest way to make people think, you know what, maybe this ad plan wasn't such a great idea. So to fight against that, they have a whole rule book of things they do behind the scenes. For instance, there's frequency capping. That's a fancy term for limiting how many times you can see the same ad campaign in a certain period. Then there's competitive exclusion, which is just common sense, right? It stops you from seeing a Pepsi ad right after a Coke ad. Creative duplication is also key. It prevents the exact same ad creative from playing back to back. And finally, ad load management is all about controlling the total number of ad minutes per hour to try and keep it feeling lighter than old school cable TV. And that really brings us to the fundamental question for the entire future of streaming. Look, this move to ads, it's a brilliant financial strategy for these companies. They've built incredible technology to make it happen smoothly, but the real test, the ultimate balancing act is this. Can they chase all those billions in advertising dollars and still protect that amazing, premium, viewer-first experience that made us all cut the cord and fall in love with streaming to begin with? That is the multi-billion-dollar question they are all scrambling to answer right now.